All right, so there are two ways to do this problem. I'm going to show you the way that I see it. So what I would do right away, listen now, is what I would do right away is I would subtract 1 over x from both sides. So what I'm going to have is I'm subtracting, I'm going to have x over x minus 1. Well, the first thing I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to add I'm going to add this to both sides, right? So what I need to do, I'm adding this. Let me circle what I'm adding. I'm adding 2 over x to both sides. That's just one way to do it. I just want to feel like exploring this idea. All right, so if I add that, this cancels out, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to subtract this from both sides. So I'm going to have, that's temporarily what I have here is I'm going to have x over x minus 1 is equal to 1 over x minus 1 plus 2 over x, right? All right, so that's what I have temporarily. Again, this is just a way for some people who might see things this way, just, you know. And then I'm going to go to the official algebra way. So this is what I have here. I have x over x minus 1, and that's equal to 1 over x minus 1 plus 2 over x. So what I'm saying now, I'm going to minus 1 over x minus 1 from both sides. I'm subtracting this from this side. And I'm also subtracting this from the right side. So obviously, subtracting something from itself, it goes, it cancels out. And so what I have now on the left side, is going to be, denominator is x minus 1, and I'm subtracting 1, x minus 1. All right, and then I'm just going to have that's equal to 2 over x. All right, so anything over itself is 1. So 1 is equal to 2 over x. So if something is equal to 1, right, then that means that x has to be equal to 2. I'm done. So that's one way to look at it. So if something is equal to 1, that means the numerator equals the denominator. So that's one way to look at it, right? I know that most people wouldn't solve it like that, so let's just do the algebraic way. So here's the other way. The other way to do this is just to go the long process, which is I have x over x minus 1 minus 2 over x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. And so what we want to do here, we want to take the denominators and multiply them, as we've been doing. So I'm going to multiply by x times x minus 1. Same thing here. I'm going to multiply by x times x minus 1. So what's going to happen is, in the first part, my x minus 1 gets killed. I'm just going to have x here. I'm just going to have x times x. It's going to be x squared. All right, and let me just keep it simple. I'm just going to have x times x. And now in the second part, my x dies. I'm just going to have minus 2 times x minus 1. And here, over the right, this dies. I'm just going to have equal to x. Okay, and so I'm going to do this whole expansion. And I'm going to get x squared minus 2x plus 2 is equal to x. Okay, and so I'm going to be subtracting x on both sides. And so x minus x is 0. And I'm going to get x squared minus, this is a minus 1, so it's going to be minus 3x Sorry, my board is a little noisy. So x squared minus 3x plus 2 is what I have now. And so I have to factor. All right? I have to factor. So if I factor, I'm going to factor, use two numbers that multiply to give me, I have two numbers that multiply to give me positive 2, what adds to give me negative 3. So obviously it's going to be x minus 1, and it's going to be equal to also minus 2. So minus 1 times minus 2 is positive 2. Minus 1 plus minus 1 is minus 3. All right, so going up here now, this tells me that I have x minus 1 equals 0. And I also have x minus 2 equals 0. All right, so those are my options, which means here that x has to be 1. A candidate for x is 1, and a candidate for x is 2. But let's go back to our original expression, right? Original equation. Our original equation gave us x over x minus 1 minus 2 over x is equal to 1 over x minus 1, which tells us that x cannot be equal to 1. So then this is no good. You could go back early in the video. I think the way it was done the first time, I prefer that, because you got the right answer right away without having to go through the quadratic solving, and you also didn't have to go through the figuring out which number was bad. All right, so that's process.